Hungarian endocrinologist back in 1935 identified what was going on in the body in terms of the stress response. And he came up with this theory that there were basically 3 phases of stress adaptation. So the first being fight or flight. So you can see from what we talked about previously that this is the state where you're ready for action. So it's your survival mechanism. It's a good thing in the body. We need to be in this state, or we need to have this phase there ready in case we need to escape any sort of danger. What you get hormonally is the increased output of cortisol, which is, I guess, what we call our stress hormone. We'll go on to talk a lot about cortisol today. And epinephrine, which is noradrenaline and adrenaline. So all those hormones and neurotransmitters go up when you're in this phase. The second phase, so if you stay in this fight or flight mode for long enough, you'll end up in phase 2, which is the resistance phase. So this is where we see most people are tired and wired. So really tired, but at the same time quite wired. So you'll find they're probably flatlining in the morning, can't get out of bed, but when it's time to go to sleep at night, they're alert and ready for action. This is the development of visceral obesity, like a lot of my clients in this phase 2. Mind you, this phase 2 here is where most people will sit. The people will complain of things like inability to lose weight, so struggling to lose weight. This is all about cortisol, the cortisol picture as well. And cortisol, I have to say, comes from the adrenal glands, and the adrenal glands also pump out what's known as androgens. So androgens are your male hormones, and so this probably more relates to the females, that you know if you're in this state of hyperadrenalism, that you can actually start to get the symptoms of PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is a male-dominant hormone condition. So women may get hirsutism or start to get acne and put on weight around the middle. That's a very, or a situation that is to do with high androgens in women. And so if you stay in this phase 2 for long enough, and you don't do anything about it and you don't identify it, eventually you'll end up in what we know as phase 3, which is exhaustion phase. And it's exactly as the name suggests. It's at this point, it's also termed burnout or adrenal fatigue. What else do they call it? Hypoadrenalism. At this point, people are struggling to get out of bed. And if you take anything home today, it's to not get yourself into stage 3, which is exhaustion phase.